Hey there, I'm Jules Clancy. I'm a former food scientist turned extremely simple cooking coach. So today I'm going to show you how to make my 3+ ingredient pea and pesto salad bowls, which is a meal that feels so easy. It's going to feel like it appeared on the table, almost as if by magic. So let's jump into the kitchen. So I've got a pan on a high heat. I'm just going to get my frozen peas in. So I've got 250 grams, which is about 9 ounces. Pop the lid on. I'm just going to let it cook for a minute or so. So after about a minute, we're just going to get the lid off, give it a stir. Okay, I'm going to get the peas off the heat. So we just want them defrosted, not super cooked. And then I'm going to add in some pesto, so 1 or 2 tablespoons. I'm going to go for 2. Yum. Stir that in, and then finish with some extra parmesan. And if you want to turn it into more of a main course, if you wanted to turn it into a whole meal, you could just add some cooked protein. Really good with boiled eggs or some salmon or chicken. Delicious. Okay, so if you enjoyed this recipe, make sure you go and grab my free app. So you just need to go to thestonesoup.com/app and you can download your free copy. It's filled with like hundreds of simple recipes, just like this one. And if you want some more ideas on ways to make these pea and pesto salad, like to mix it up, stay tuned. So, because one of the unique things that I do with Stone Soup is that I always include variations for my recipes, because you might not have a particular ingredient, or if you've got dietary requirements, then you'll know how to adjust to suit those, and to also just like to mix it up and to like take it in a different direction. So what can we do with these pea bowls? So in terms of like different veggies that work really well here, like if you're not a pea fan, actually I grew up like with a lot of childhood issues around peas, being forced to eat peas, and I actually still have some kind of psychological stuff going on. But this dish, when I made it for the photo shoot, I was like, oh, I'm probably not going to like this so much. And so I normally would just pack it up and give it to my dad because I've still got this pea thing. But I was like, no, I'm going to try it. And it was actually my favorite thing that I made on the day that I did that photo shoot. So yes, you can surprise. The peas are really good and they are so convenient just to have in the freezer, but you can use other frozen veggies. So you could use frozen baby green beans, buy the baby ones, because they're really they would work really well here. You could use frozen greens. So if you've got kale or frozen spinach, they would work really well as well. Or frozen broccoli, like pretty much any frozen veggies that you have, if you cook them in this way, are going to work. Frozen cauliflower, going to work really well. Or you could use fresh. So you could, if you've had fresh snow peas, you could cook them in a similar way, or fresh sugar snap peas or fresh peas. Like any of those things are going to work really well, or any of your kind of stir fry veggies. So yeah, and then in terms of the sauce, pesto is incredible here. However, if you need to be dairy free, you can buy vegan pestos, and I actually have a recipe for a Sicilian nut pesto that's made using nuts instead of the parmesan, like so just extra nuts instead of the parmesan, and that's really delicious. But you could take it in a different direction. So instead of the pesto, use like hummus and give it a bit of a Middle Eastern vibe, or like just a basic vinaigrette, like just lemon juice or vinegar and olive oil tossed through this. Or you could use mayonnaise if you're a mayo fan like I am. And actually QP brand, they make this wasabi mayonnaise, which with the peas, like wasabi and peas go so well together. So yeah, like drizzling that over instead of the pesto would work really well. Or I guess even like Mexican, you could do like a salsa kind of vibe, or like if you had like a green tomato salsa, that would be really great. Or actually avocado guac, like with the peas would be really beautiful. And then in terms of like making it more substantial, like any cooked protein that you want to chop to, I think in the video I used boiled eggs, but any cooked chicken, fish, you could use tofu, you could use lentils, like any of those kind of cooked vegetarian proteins would work really well as well. Or poached eggs are really lovely here. Or you could actually like scramble the eggs through the peas, and it's going to look a bit like not so appealing, but that's going to give you that extra protein. And then in terms of like flavor bombs, like or plus ingredients, if you wanted to like elevate the experience, like 'cause it is really lovely exactly as it is, but you could add some mint, some fresh basil, any of the fresh herbs would work really well. You could add some nuts for crunch, so some pistachios, say, to keep going with the green vibe, or some pine nuts to kind of boost the pine nut flavors, or even just cashews. Um, Instead of the parmesan, use a different cheese. So maybe some feta or a crumbled goat's cheese, or a pecorino, like a sheep's milk cheese, or any of that, like hard cheeses can work, that you can grate, would work really well here. Or shaving the cheese as well to give it that kind of crunch. Or you could like some halloumi and have like that kind of crunchy, like that salty, really salty contrast to the sweetness of the peas, would be really delicious. Uh, yeah, so many ideas. And I guess just remember Clancy's law of cooking. So if you think something's going to taste delicious, it usually does. So if you have an idea and you're like, oh, I wonder if I could try this, do. If you think it's going to be good, it probably will be. And at the very least, you will, if it isn't so great, you will have learned something. So yeah, so have fun playing around with the pea bowls. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and make sure you subscribe to my Stone Soup channel. And also, yeah, just make sure you go and grab my free app. So thestonesoup.com/app. Go get it now. Okay, have a beautiful week, and I'll catch you next time.